Hey, thanks for stopping by our channel, Tremendous Trifecta. This YouTube channel is owned by three people. Me, Rachel, my friend Molly, and my friend Megan. And Tremendous Trifecta was an idea created by the three of us. And we decided that we would like to start a YouTube channel a few months ago. And, of course, all of us were really into the idea, but at the time we were all really busy. We each had our own personal lives going on. It was during the school year, and the biggest factor was that I live in a different state as they do. So we kept putting it off for a while, and then summer came, and we were like, you know what, why don't we just grab the bull by the horns and just do this thing? Because doing a YouTube channel with a bunch of friends is just like a great way to bond together and like strengthen your friendship. And I mean, the three of us met over the internet, and I haven't met Molly and Megan in person. Molly and Megan have met before, and I did do a uvu with Megan once, but her camera wasn't working, so but having the idea and just like doing something together like this. And I mean, we have done things together before. We've done RPs online before. We share a Tumblr, which will be in the links below. We share a Tumblr because we're all really into art. We love drawing and we love digital art and photography and things like that. So yeah, there'll be a bunch of links below to like different websites that we use and like how to contact us and stuff. But for our first few videos, we decided that we would like to do an introductory video, and as a group we came up with about 14 questions that we're all going to answer, so that you can just get to know us a little bit. And so without further ado, here's my intro video. The first question is what our name is, and my name is Rachel, spelled R-A-C-H-E-L. Since this channel is owned by three people, we each have our own little handle name, and mine is Moony, and it is short for a much longer username, Moonlit Black Cat, which when I was like 10 and I first got on the internet and I signed up for like all those like Gmail, and I signed up for Facebook, well not Facebook, but like internet games and things, I was trying to figure out like a name that would stick, an original name, and I came up with the name Moonlit Black Cat. And it was one of those things that you regret when you're older. Yeah. So after a while, it was just too long to type out, so people just called me Moon, or Moony, or MLBC, or just like abbreviations. So I live in the state of New York. Not the city, though. I live in Albany, which is the capital of New York, and it is really boring. I'm not gonna lie. My height is about 5'1". I'm pretty short. My shoe size. My shoe size is anywhere between a 5 and a 6.5. That's simply because of what kind of shoe that I'm wearing. If I'm wearing nice dress shoes, the shoe size will be smaller. If I'm wearing something like sneakers, it'll be bigger. For example, my volleyball sneakers are 7, which sounds really big, but apparently when you play volleyball, you're supposed to have one shoe size bigger or a half shoe size bigger than your largest size. So, yeah. My favorite color changes every day. I'm really tied to emotion, so how I feel will dictate my opinion on things, like my favorite color. Today I would have to say it's like a sea foam green color. Yesterday it was like a mauve, a reddish, pinkish, mauvish color, And the day before that, it was like a forest green. I'm Cantonese. My parents both grew up in Hong Kong, and then they moved to America. And despite that, I am not fluent in Cantonese. And the reason is because a lot of the times when you are part of the minority families or your parents have moved from their home country to America, they speak the language around the house a lot when you're young so that you pick it up. And since you're in America, you pick up English from going out in public and from going to school and stuff. So, but in my case, my parents decided that if my sister and I really wanted to learn Cantonese, instead of having us learn it like that, they would wait for us to ask them to teach us how to speak Cantonese. And I'm grateful for that because it's sort of like a choice. It is ultimately a choice to like learn it, but I'm also slightly not happy about it because I wish they had, even if I said I didn't want to, because when you grow older, learning a new language or learning anything new fluently is harder. And I do admit when I go visit my family in Hong Kong, I do feel a little bit left out, but it's not that I don't understand any of it. I mean, I've picked some of it up, but to be fluent in it, I would really like to learn Cantonese. I would also really like to learn Japanese and French. I must consult my trusty iPhone. The current weather in New York, Albany is, let's see, it's almost 1 o'clock. Right now it is 70 degrees, and it is a high of 75 and a low of 72. And there's a 60% chance of showers, and the weather goes up a little bit. And then at 4, there's supposed to be thunderstorms. And then rain again at 10. The weather has been really rainy here. A lot of my friends are disappointed it's rainy. I like the rain, so you know what? I think there are 2 crayons I could be. I could either be that really soft periwinkle blue, or I would be a vibrant orange. I say periwinkle blue because I am mostly introverted. I like staying at home and I like reading. So I'd say blue when I am calm and when I want to be myself. Vibrant orange when I'm social. I can be very, very loud sometimes. I like going on adventures and I like meeting new people and going places I've never been before. Once in a while I like going to parties. I like going like boating out on the lake, things like that. So, one or the other. Okay, first of all, I have to say my favorite superpower has always been Mystique from X-Men. I've always thought the idea of changing your appearance would be really cool. But if I honestly could have any superpower, I would like the superpower to pull things out of thin air. And if I can, let me explain it a little bit. I'm not saying like just making things with my mind. I'm talking about pulling something that already exists out of thin air. So if I forgot my glasses at home, then I would be like, okay, oh, here my glasses are. So it would be like, I would be teleporting an object, by pulling it out of thin air. So if it was something like food or money, it would have to come from somewhere. It wouldn't be just something I'm making. Yep. Okay, I'm currently addicted to 2 bands, Fall Out Boy and Parachutes. I've always been addicted to Fall Out Boy, but since Save Rock and Roll came out, I've been insanely much more addicted to it. I love every single song on their album, and I have gotten like a whole bunch of people from my graduating class to like Fall Out Boy for the first time, so I'm really proud of that. And Parachutes, I didn't start listening to until this year, this year. About middle of this year, my friend Stephanie introduced me to them, and if you haven't heard them, they are really nice. I guess they would fall under pop, but they're like more like mellow. They're very mellow about it. This is one of the things that are tied to my mood, but it also depends on what I'm doing. So if no one's at home, if it's just me, I am more likely to crank the music up. But if my parents are home, I won't, because it's just inconsiderate to do that. But if I feel like I want to dance around my room, I'll turn the music up louder. If I'm vacuuming my room, I will turn the music up louder. If I'm just doing schoolwork, or if I'm reading, I'll just leave it at like a normal level. My favorite Pokemon has always been the evolutions. In fact, I have made it my goal to collect all of the evolutions, and I have a good bunch of them. This is my page dedicated to them. I obviously don't have all of them, but yeah. So when I was younger, Pokemon was a big part of my life, but evolutions have always stuck out to me, and I've always rotated my favorites. Out of the original three, it was Vaporeon, and then Espeon and Umbreon came along, and then Glaceon and Leafeon came along, but I would have to say right now my favorite is Umbreon. And if we're talking a not evolution, I would have to say my favorite would be Ninetales or Vulpix. This is really hard because I love reading, but to be honest, I would have to say my favorite is the Harry Potter series. And this is because I grew up with Harry Potter. And, I was lucky enough to be in that age range. Okay. So, in the US, first Harry Potter book came out in 1998. So I was 3 when the first book came out. But when I was 10 was the first time I read it. So that would be 2005. And around 2005 was when Half-Blood Prince came out. But being an avid reader, I had read up to Order of the Phoenix. And then I read Half-Blood Prince when Half-Blood Prince came out, and then Deathly Hallows when Deathly Hallows came out. Other book series I enjoy: Percy Jackson, Hunger Games, Lord of the Rings. Series of Unfortunate Events was the first book series and the longest book series I've ever read. Dealing with Dragons in that book series, I liked that. Holes, even though that's just like 2. Anything by Terry Pratchett, which, some people argue that it's not, but the way Terry Pratchett does it is that he created a world called Discworld, and then he has a whole bunch of books about Discworld, and they've got characters from other books in it, but there's no chronological order to it, and I really like that. I read the Aragon series. I'm not to say it's my favorite, but I did read it. When I was younger and into the princess stuff, I read the Gail Carson Levine books, like Ella Enchanted and that stuff. Wicked. Yeah, I have a lot of books. And the last question are my top 3 fandoms. This is really, really hard. I am not gonna lie. So I'm going to categorize them for you. So the first would be TV shows. My top 3 fandoms for TV shows would have to be Numbers, which was the first TV series I ever actually got into. Supernatural, and BBC Sherlock. As for comedy TV shows, I would have to say How I Met Your Mother, Friends, and Arrested Development. If we're talking anime manga, I would have to say One Piece has always been my favorite, and then Full Metal Alchemist and Black Butler, and then after that would come Fairy Tail and Soul Eater. And lastly, I'm sorry, I have so many fandoms, this is why I have to do it. Movies. Marvel movies in general. I love them. I'm really into like any like action adventure type movie, so it's really hard. Pitch Perfect. Yep. Pitch Perfect fandom. And the last one I would have to say is the Les Miserables fandom. So, that's a little bit about me, and look forward to seeing Megan and Molly's introductory videos coming up soon, and we will see you in the future. Bye!